16 is on rounding, whole numbers, and estimating. Yes.
Did we have this lesson last year?
We did. Yep, we did. Okay. Rounding. Who knows what rounding means? Jaden?
So say you have 125, you round it to the nearest 100.
Okay.
And it would be 100.
Okay. So it all depends on what we're rounding it to. Okay. So let's just take this number, 6,789. Now, if I told you we were rounding this to the nearest 1,000, okay? Nearest 1,000, Jaden?
7,000.
Yes. What you would do is go, okay, what 2,000s is this number in between? It's in between 6,000 and 7,000. Is 6,789 closer to 7,000 or is it closer to 6,000?
7,000.
It's closer to 7,000, okay? And the way I taught that last year is you underline the number that you're trying to round it by. So we're looking at rounding the thousands place. You look at the number to the right. If it is 5 or higher, you would round it up to 7,000. If it is 4 or lower, you would keep it at 6,000, okay? Everybody remember that, what we did last year? Okay, so if this was 5 or higher, I would move this up to 7,000. If it was 4 or lower, it would be 6,000. You would keep it the same. All right, now, let's do, gosh, is anybody hearing me? I'm having a hard time hearing myself. Okay, let's do 550. Okay, if I'm rounding this to the nearest 100, okay, what 200s does this go in between?
5 and 7.
500 and 600. Now, remember what I told you a while ago? Underline the number you're doing. We're doing hundreds place. So I look to the number to the right. Is it 5 or higher?
Yes.
Yes, so what happens? I round it to the higher one, 600. Very good. Okay, if this said 4, what would I have done? I would go to 500. Okay, very good. Very good. All right, now, have any of y'all heard the word estimate?
Yes.
Okay, in math, when you hear, what does estimate mean just in the world? Yes.
Like, what's your thought on how much this is?
Say it loudly.
What's your thought on like how much this is?
Okay. Okay, so if I told you to give me an estimate, what am I asking you to do? Yes.
Yes.
Kind of like a guess. It's a little bit more detailed than that.
Like round.
Okay, it is rounding.
Like.
Let's say you got paid $510, and I asked you to give me an estimate of how much you made. What would you tell me?
500.
You would tell me 500. Okay, so here's what I need you to hear. Whenever in math they ask you to estimate, here's what they want me to do. They want me to estimate this number and this number. Whenever they ask you to estimate, you want to think they're asking you what is the highest place value. And that's what you're going to round to. Does everybody understand what I'm saying? If this was that one, you would round to this number, the highest place value. Everybody understand? Okay, so when they say estimate, okay, they're asking you to round to the highest place value. Okay, so here's what I want you to do. They tell me to estimate the sum. What is sum?
The answer.
To a addition problem. So they want me to estimate the sum of this and this. So that doesn't mean that you answer it and then you estimate. You estimate first. So whenever you see this word estimate, you're going to do it first to each of the numbers. So if I'm going to estimate this number, what's it going to be? 500. If I'm going to estimate this number, what's it going to be?
300.
300. And if I'm going to get the sum of both of these numbers, what's it going to be?
800.
Very good. Very good. Okay. You did it exactly right. All right. Everybody look at the graph on page 78. It says, according to this graph, how many more people lived in Ashton in 2000 than in 1980? Now, what I want you to see is on the left of that, it says population in thousands. What does that mean? Yes?
The 10, that means 10,000.
You're exactly right. Esther said it exactly. So when you see that 2, that doesn't mean that in 1970 this town had 2 people in it. Okay? That 2 is in thousands. So it would be 2,000. Okay? So do not miss an answer because you didn't pay attention to a problem. Okay? Do not do that. Now, so in 1970, what was their population? Scream it out.
3,000.
3,000. 3,000 because it's in between 2 and 4, so it's going to be 3. All right? What's the population in 1980? Isaac?
4,000.
4,000. 1990. Claire? 5,000. And in 2000, oh, coffee?
7,000.
7,000. Very good. So they asked me about how many more people lived in Ashton in 2000 than in 1980. What would I do to figure out how many more lived in? Remember how many more? Ding, 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 ding. I need to be doing a subtraction pattern. So you would subtract. And you would subtract 7,000 minus what?
4,000.
4,000, and your answer would be?
3,000.
3,000. Don't answer 3. From 7 minus 4 is 3. 3 is wrong. 3,000, because we're working with thousands. Everybody got it?
Yes.
That's it?